Hello, welcome to my channel, and I am working on this female, Anna's hummingbird. I live in Oregon, and these hummingbirds are here year-round. So what I want to do, my goal today, is to push back the background, because it kind of seemed like they're all one. Everybody's just kind of, you know, the hummingbird's here, the background's here. There's not really definition between them. So I have prepared a little titanium white and water, and I'm just going to put in a little whitewash. So it looks like it's going to be really white, but it really isn't. And I'm just going to paint this in carefully around this little girl. See if we can get her in the spotlight where she was supposed to be in the first place. There we go. And then I will just paint this on. I don't want it to dry. I just want to get it on here. Now this is already dry on the background, so it won't move the background at all. It will only move, won't move the paint on the background. It's only going to move what's in the foreground that I'm painting on right now. So I'm gonna take off a little bit of that because I just got some over her head. I gave her a little crop here. I need to take that off. And I gotta pay attention to that because otherwise it will take off part of her head. I don't want to do that. Now I have a paper towel here, and you can choose whatever kind of paper towel you want. You can use a shop towel. You want to go with one that has lower lint, hopefully. And this is actually brawny. I don't know if it has lower lint or not, but I'm dabbing it with a paper towel. And you can kind of see how it's now just kind of more like almost like a foggy morning, and it won't be that drastic. And I can take it off the bird. It just tapped onto her a little bit. But you can kind of see on the left-hand side how the background is pushed back further. Also in the grain of the canvas, there is a little bit of paint that's staying in the grain of the canvas, so I'm going to see if I can move that. And this is just water on the brush. And just tap in little bits of it. And I'm taking off the paint, is pretty much what I'm doing. I'm taking off any of the light paint that I just put on there. And I call this a whitewash because I think I learned it was a whitewash. I'd have to look up if it's actually a whitewash, but that's what I call it. It's just we're painting over the background, and it may be a technical term, I'm not sure. I just know it's just a little bit of titanium white and enough water that it's almost like milk. Maybe watery milk, more like a, dried milk. I don't know if you ever had that. I did when I was growing up. I had dried non-fat milk or whatever, and we would have that instead of regular milk. But that's when I was growing up. So but it kind of looks like that. It looks like really watery milk, just real thin. So I'm now painting on more, and I'm just going to tap it off, get off any excess. And if it takes off too much, well, you know what? I can go right back in and put in more. And this will just push the background back and bring the focal point forward, which is what I want to do, and was my goal. It's okay if the sky's a little lighter. It doesn't have to be super phthalo blue. This is distilled water. This is distilled water. And I am using distilled water because I cover up the paint with a plastic wrap when I'm done, and I see how long I can make it last, especially if I'm doing the same thing next couple days or whatever. It just depends on how much time I have to paint each time. Hopefully that will increase over time. And I am, again, just putting in the white over the background. It's white and water. And this is a round brush. It is just a round, let's see, a size 10 round, and it's soft. It's not a hard bristle brush. Let me just go over this beautiful flower. I know it's beautiful, but you know what? We have our focal point here, and we don't want it to deter from her. And she could be resting with beautiful flowers behind her, and they're gonna still look great even with the whitewash on them. And what I can do too, if it's doing this stuff where it just kind of goes into the grain and you can see it in the grain of the canvas, then we can go over it with a dry brush. So I have a dry 1-inch brush right over here that we can use. So or I can use. So let me take off some of the excess right here, and then I'm gonna take a 1-inch brush over it. And I can always take it off the bird, and I'm planning to paint oil over the top of this, in which you could be there with me. That would be great. I'm just gonna brush out where it's going in the grain. There we go. So it's no longer doing that. It's now blended, and then I just need to take it off the bird because it blended right onto the bird, and she's kind of fading away. I don't want that to happen. We don't want you fading away. We're gonna take you back. Let's see here. Let me just go like that. There we go. Okay, so I took it back, and I don't know if there's any more. There's a little bit on her body, but that's okay. I'm still going to be touching this up later. That's one thing with acrylic painting and oil painting. You just you can paint over it. Oil paint, it's a lot messier for me. This is acrylic right now. We're in the acrylic phase, and we will go to the oil phase in not too shortly. It's going to be after I finish doing the chest of her feathers where they're gray, and putting in the pattern of that, so that I have the ability to show the definition, and then I will do the oil over the top, which I will do the bird mostly in oil. I think that's the plan. Now some of the background may be in oil. We'll see. I want to get over the sky. I don't want the sky bluer in areas than it was, and it could be, I don't know, kind of cloudy maybe. But we're just going for pushing back the background and losing the definition in the background by doing the whitewash. And this is a good way to do fog too. If you're doing fog in your painting, once you've got it in, just go ahead and paint over a whitewash, and then you blend it out. Like I said, use your 1-inch brush. So when you see it going in the grain, like I don't know if you can see that on here, but it's going into the grain of the canvas, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is brush over it with a 1-inch brush, and then I'll take it off the bird. There we go. This 1-inch brush is dry. I did not get it wet, and that's gonna help. If I got it wet, it would actually move the paint, and it's picking up the paint because it's kind of wet right now from the paint. So I'm just blending it in, and this is a bit much, so I'm going to take some of it off with the paper towel, and then I'm going to take it off the bird too. Off the bird, we'll get it off of there. And I might use a Q-tip to do that. Q-tips are good as far as cleaning up paint that I don't want on somewhere, because this paint's already dry. Acrylic paint dries, and it's like plastic. It's great. I mean, not plastic, but you know, it's worth more than plastic. I'm just saying it dries, and it's immovable unless you really aggravate the area. Like right now, I'm brushing too much here with this Q-tip, so it's picking up some of the black. But I just want to pick up the white that I just put on there, and then I'm going to bring out the bird more with paint when I do that. So she's good. So I need to do the sides as well, because they're pretty bright. I don't need them to be bright. I don't need it to distract when it's hanging on the wall and a client, is enjoying it, and then they notice the side. Yeah, there's a problem there, so I'm gonna go ahead and make some of the white mixed with a little bit of water. And this is distilled water, because your water that you get from the city or wherever you live is going to have some bacteria in it. They don't get rid of all of it. They're not like, it's not, our bodies are used to that. But the thing is, the paint will, if you mix it with your paint, and then you, like say you save your paint later, or you just, like I do, I cover it, that will cause it to, a lot of times, rot. And you don't want that to happen, unless you like weird smells on your paint, which I didn't. It was bad. So anyhow, I learned the hard way to use distilled water, and I make my own distilled water with a Waterwise water filter that you can buy online. And I shipped it to myself, and then I make my own distilled water, so I don't have to go buy it all the time. And distilled water is just water that's gone. And it's been heated up so much that it steams, and then that steam drips into a pan, and it, or wherever container you have collecting it, and then that is then distilled water, and all the chemicals are left in the barrel of the original container that the water was in. Okay, there we go. But hopefully I came back to close to where I was on the video. I'll know when I go and crop it. But I'll just crop it so that I can see the whole thing. And I'm just going to work my way around because it's not done all the way around. So I'm going to get that whitewash on there. And I think it's done here, good enough, but not here. So, yeah, I'm going to need that grass to be closer to us. It's darker. So when items are darker, they will give the illusion of being closer to you. And for the most part, I mean, in a painting, when up in the foreground, you can paint it in very detailed and nice vivid colors, but in the distance, the colors get distorted. You know, our view can give us a different read of the colors because they're further away, and the way the light's hitting them and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can blend this out. I'm just gonna blend it out with a nice dry brush. It's a dry 1-inch. These are acrylic brushes, and I'm painting with acrylic today. Okay, that's good enough. All right, I think she looks better. We've pushed the flowers back now. You can still tell there's flowers in the painting, and they're just further in the background. And the other thing that was bugging me about this painting was there's little spots of sky showing, so I'm gonna put in, I think I'll put in some brown and green mixed together in those areas, and then I will whitewash it again in that area, I think, because I could also mix white with it. I'm gonna try doing that. We'll try doing that. Just going a little bit lighter. And making some ground color and painting that in between where those little spots are, and then I can dab them with a paper towel or something. She's gonna be on a branch anyway, so she's not you know, stuck in midair, not doing anything. She's gonna be on a branch when it's all said and done. Right now, I'm just putting in where there's sky. I'm touching it up with a little bit of green, so that there's no longer sky there. And then I can take a paper towel and dab off any extra color. And yeah, so I have been painting since 2004, and I have been painting professionally since 2009. And that just means once you sell something, you're professional. So that's pretty much what it means. I'm gonna blend this out a little bit because it's kind of too detailed. I don't want a detail in the background. Again, you know, if you were to put a house off in the background, you don't want to have little people out there sitting and talking in the front yard, because people need to, the illusion needs to be it's further away. So we don't need a lot of detail, and the less detail, the better. So if I could get even better at, you know, having less detail, that would be great. I am so glad that you joined me today, and I am looking forward to doing the next video on this beautiful little hummingbird. And I hope you like this video, and I hope you subscribe to my channel. I will continue painting on this hummingbird till she's all done, and you can join me for that. I will continue with this series, and I hope that you subscribe and share with your family and friends, and yeah, I hope you have a blessed day, and yes, and go forth, and if you're creative, if you like to create, go forth and create. That is one of the best things you can do. So, especially in our world today, it's one of the best things you can contribute. So, yes. So anyway, and I am going to sign off for now. Like I said, please like this video and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.